Hey everybody! Guess what? Breaking news. Prince Harry and Prince Seeiso have quit Sentebale. The tea on this one is hotter than a fresh cup of tea from Buckingham Palace. Trust me, it is not even about hotter than a fresh cup of tea from Buckingham Palace. Trust me, it is not even about. Okay, let me shut that down. Oh my goodness. I can just imagine that this is the last thing Prince Harry wanted to happen, but it is now happening. Okay, so what is this drama all about? It's not the good kind of charity drama. And actually, I saw this coming from 500 miles away just because we're humans. And yeah, anyway, let me break it down for you guys, because you guys must be wondering what I'm talking about, but it just has me in such a bother because, of course, our girl Meghan is busy launching her various businesses, and this is not the time for this kind of stuff to be happening. But guess what? Life happens, right? Yeah, so life is lifing, life is doing what it does. Um, so, for those who are not aware of the background of Sentebale, which I'm sure most people are, Prince Harry and his buddy Prince Seeiso started Sentebale nearly 20 years ago. 20 years ago to support vulnerable children in Southern Africa, especially those impacted by HIV/AIDS. It has since expanded into development, commercial support for commercial enterprises in the region. And last year, they had the fantastic idea of expanding the reach of Sentebale. And they then went ahead to make Sophie Chanduka, I think her name is pronounced Sophie Chanduka, uh, the chairperson of Sentebale. So imagine this, you have passionate trustees because you guys remember last year during the run up to the UN, obviously these people have put a business plan together and they're determined within themselves that you know what, this is the time to really work on Sentebale and push it to the furthest it can go under Prince Harry. And he did that. He took them to the UN last year. Sophie was all over it times 10. I wasn't necessarily focused on her myself, although I did notice one or two crazy things that were happening. But I did, when they photographs from Prince Harry's visit to Lesotho came out, I was like, something is not adding up. But obviously, we're not here to criticize. And I really didn't have the answer to the question that popped into my head at the time. So I didn't voice it out. But it appears that obviously there's something going on, or some things have been going on within Sentebale. So what it looks like is that you've got passionate trustees, an ambitious chairperson, and a power struggle that could rival the season finale of Succession. So apparently there have been concerns about the governance of Sentebale, and the trustees of Sentebale wanted Sophie Chanduka out, and she refused to go. She was busy fighting and fighting and fighting. So all the trustees resigned. And once the trustees resigned, then Prince Seeiso and Prince Harry resigned as well. Because, Harry, most likely, of course, having assessed the situation, he would have said, well, I'm the kind of guy who stands by my people, and a chair comes and goes. But these people who've been with me from the beginning, I'm going to stand by them, especially when it's on the path of right. So when the trustees basically said that they're out, Harry and Seiso did a mic drop as well. They released a joint statement confirming what transpired is unthinkable. So imagine the group chat when they decided that they were going to ask Sophie to step down, and she refused to step down, and then she turned around and sued them. I haven't got the details of the reason for the lawsuit, but I can imagine it will be discrimination or something of that nature. And then in the group chat, Harry would have said, you know what, I'm out. I don't need this. Cecil would be, same, bro. And all the other members of the boards of trustees would be the same. I checked their website to see who are the trustees. There are about 8 of them, I think. And I was initially thinking, this is typical. Maybe she's the only female in a male dominated area, but it's not the case. There are other women there as well. It just seems like not everyone can operate on the level where she found herself, and it's all fallen apart. Anyway, jokes aside, this is tough for Sentebale. Yep, the mission is still so critical, especially with HIV and poverty remaining issues in the region. And Harry has always been in, from emotional visits to the region to fundraising in New York. So obviously, this decision wouldn't have been made lightly. But I'm just a bit disappointed though in Sophie. Like, no matter what happens, if people are working with you and they don't want you to be their head, I mean, this is not even a corporate organization. This is a charitable organization. So why are you stubbornly refusing to leave? Why are you refusing to leave? The charity itself right now is facing a charity commission investigation. I checked the website as well. The charitable organization is registered in the UK. Now, the charities registered in the UK, they undergo such rigorous reporting obligations. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous because not one penny can be spent um, on things that are outside of the charity's objectives for being in existence. So, if they're under investigation and the concerns have to do with governance, that also implies some financial malfeasance, which would have something to do with Sophie. Anyway, the heart of the issue is whether leadership shifts and internal disputes. The heart of the issue is whether the leadership shifts and internal disputes have jeopardized the charity's mission. The thing is that between, let me say, 2023 and 2025, there have been a lot of changes in Sentebale. And this was because, for some reason, they decided that they wanted to make the leadership of Sentebale more indigenous. So, to have people around the region in leadership roles rather than having people from all over the world part of the board of Sentebale. And as a result of that, a lot of the old guard of Sentebale have stepped down. I think I would say about 3 or 4 of them have stepped down in the period. they've taken on new people who probably don't have the culture of Sentebale in their bones, because the people who you conceive an idea with would definitely be different to the people who join you while you have grown the idea and are now beginning to execute big projects. You just be so the people who will just be joining for the benefit of what the charitable organization will be doing. Um, Let me see. Hold on a second. All right, before we continue, if this is your first time on this channel, please hit the subscribe button, the like button, and leave a comment or two in the comment section. If you have visited before and you have not yet subscribed, let today be the day you decide to subscribe. Thanks to all my new subscribers. We are on a mission to get to 10K subs. So if you have been listening and you have not yet subscribed, take a leap of faith with me today and go ahead, hit that subscribe button. For all those who have been rocking with me from the beginning, thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section. Also, hit the like button. So, I don't know what Sophie was all about, what she was trying to achieve, but it seems like whatever she came into the chat with has totally turned the organization all around, and it is now in disarray. So, I was looking around for to see if I can get some more information um about what is happening, and I'm going to show a forum. I'm going to put it on the screen in a minute, but let me just share this with you. So while Prince Harry and Prince Seeiso have stepped down, they haven't stepped away. They're still loud and proud about Sentebale's work, and they're not afraid to call out when things go left. I am busy hoping here that this is going to be temporary, because what is happening is that all the trustees have resigned, and a chairperson cannot run the charity by themselves. So it's basically in a situation of checkmate. Okay, so the charitable organization needs the trustees in order to be able to do all that is needed in order for the organization to run. So just by the fact that all the trustees resigned, the chairperson may eventually go ahead to resign, because she can't do anything until the organization itself has some reporting officers. So the law requires the charitable organization to have certain officers in place before the charity can run. Since she has no trustees, the organization is at a standstill at the moment. So the only way forward for her, embarrassing as it may be, would be for her to resign. Whether she would take the sensible route out is left to be seen. Left to be seen. But this is basically what is happening at the moment. And I just thought to myself, this is just so bad, because Prince Harry has put blood, sweat, and tears into this organization to try and make sure that it progresses, that it gets to where he needs for it to be, only for Sophie to come in and disrupt the unity. Now, there was always a chance that something like this would happen, because they moved so fast last year. Um, Not that we can blame them, because if you've got the right people on board, then it shouldn't be a problem if you're moving fast. But when you're coming from a place where you're moving very slowly and then you suddenly pick up a quick pace, then it's almost not surprising. And also then we can see the reason why Sophie was being so attentive, always hanging around. Is that fair to say? I don't even know. But yeah, so look at this. From Reddit, okay? This is from Reddit, and this is what this person says. So they said, so it seems the current chair of Sentebale, Sophie Chanduka, was asked to step down because the board of trustees felt she was no longer right for the role, but Sophie Chanduka disagreed and stayed on. The trustees started resigning in protest, and Sophie decided to sue the charity back in protest for wanting to get rid of her. Now, Harry and Seeiso have resigned in solidarity with the trustees. The charity commission have been brought in to mediate. I don't know what she thinks she's doing. I really don't know what she thinks she's doing. She could have just left quietly. um no matter the kind of falling out, these kind of things at the level at which she was operating, the exposure she was getting, she could have just left and just, maintained a relationship. Harry would have definitely wanted to do anything for her just to make sure that he compensates her for missing out, if there's anything that she was going to be missing out on. Anyway, so this person below says, oh, that's heartbreaking for Harry. I know Sentebale means so much to him. This can't be something he took lightly. And another person who has experience with how charities function said they can't function legally without trustees. So my guess is that this is a temporary resignation until Sophie leaves. This is like a CEO insisting on staying when they have been fired by the shareholding board. Any CEO who does that will find that they have no access to the bank accounts that keep the organization afloat. I serve as the treasurer of a non-profit board. All funds must be signed off by me. Without the trustees, she will not be able to function. It's a hard move, but not unheard of. So, I think that gives a lot of explanation about it. Of course, just reading from this comment here, it says, I just scrolled across a post on another site that claimed that all this was happening because Meghan didn't want Dr. Sophie posing next to Harry in a photo. They actually claimed Meghan shoved Sophie. So it's not about the complexities of running an international charity and staffing and conflicting visions on how to run the organization. No, 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 no. It's all about personal beef with Meghan. They're grasping at straws. Very soon, these British people are going to wake up and say, do you know what? It's Meghan's fault it rained. It's Meghan's fault it's sunny. It's Meghan's fault it's snowy. It's Meghan's fault it's cold. It's Meghan's fault it's hot. It's Meghan's fault for everything. So, guys, yeah, this is what's going on in Sentebale at the moment, and which is really heartbreaking. Um, Mainly because I know that someone like Prince Harry, he really treasures relationships. He does his best to keep relationships going. I'm sure almost even longer than they should be going. And now this has happened in the most embarrassing way possible ever. What do you guys think? And I hope, my only hope is that Harry didn't open the door too much to himself for her to want to um, use what the media are doing to him uh, as leverage in her negotiations, because a lot of the people out there, this is, if I had any reason to be worried about Harry and Meghan at all, it is the tendency of people to want to use the situation that Harry and Meghan are in, with the media attacking them constantly, as leverage against them to say, I'm going to do X, Y, or Z, X, Y, or Z, even though they know that they are wrong, just because they know that no matter what they do, whether it is positive or negative, the media will always be against Harry and Meghan. Anyway, guys, Barbara, let me look at your questions. Barbara says, what does it have to do with Prince Harry and board since they left the charity? I think I've answered the question. Well, Prince Harry is the patron of the charity along with Prince Seeiso. So, in order for them to achieve a legal checkmate of Sophie, since they want her to leave, I believe that they made a decision that the board of trustees was going to resign in order to force her out, since she refused to leave willingly. Uh, Sentebale charity will not survive without the princes since they bring in most of the fundraising. You know, Lorna, the way you are able to just go directly to the point of the issue is one of the things that I admire the most about you. I don't know what Sophie thought she was doing. I don't know what Sophie thought she was doing. That Sentebale is as well known as it is because of Prince Seeiso and Prince Harry. There must be thousands of charities in Lesotho and South Africa, and yet none of them is as well known or renowned as um, Sentebale is. And it's a shame that this is happening now because if you remember, during that period when Prince Harry was doing the uh, all the meetings at the UN, all the side meetings at the UN, he brought investors to Lesotho. There were loads of investors to Lesotho. So this is actually already embarrassing to Sentebale that this will be happening at this stage. It's like at the smallest sign of success, the charity is crumbling. I think she just got a power drunk and a bit power drunk, you know. I think she got a bit power drunk because we all think we can handle a job until we're put in it, and then the pressures of the job are making us act crazy. But Prince Harry had already brought like so many investors. They had that art exhibition in New York. So that must have been bringing in foreign currency to Lesotho as well. She will see that and dollar signs will be going up in her eyes. Chicking, kaching, kaching, kaching. And not only that, exposure, jobs like that for people at that level, they're not even really interested in the money that's coming into the charity. What's most interesting is the exposure that such positions give to you. You meet captains of industry in those kind of positions. Honestly, I could weep. I could weep for how disappointed I am uh, in Sophie, honestly. Even if you felt like, oh, it's not fair, they want to get rid of me now, I've done so much, let it go. She also has a very profitable business of her own that she's doing. Why don't you just let it go and move on to where you're going to? Why do this is what I don't understand. Why do this? Neva says, I truly believe someone got in her ear and some money was waved around. The fact that she filed a lawsuit says quite a lot. This is coming from some order. I think so. I think you're right. It's because nothing else makes sense. If she was going based on the relationship between herself and Harry alone, just them having a conversation alone and him telling her, "Thank you so much for all that you've been doing. However, the board is not happy with you anymore. Please, can you step down?" Should have been enough for her to say, "Do you know what? If my being here is bringing friction and I'm your good friend, or I'm the good friend that I say I am, all right, fair enough. It's fine. Why fight to stay there, stay in a place where no one wants you to be?" You understand? And so the only thing that would make sense is that someone has sown seeds of discord, sorry, into her ear, and now it's creating conflict. It's manifesting. She's doing the work that she has been sent to do, which is to cause chaos in Prince Harry's charity. And if you think about it, actually, it's been a long time coming. I'm surprised that this hasn't, if we're thinking from that direction, then I would say it's been a long time coming that I was properly, fully expecting something like this to have happened some time ago, especially when Prince Harry donated proceeds from the sale of Spare to Sentebale. I was expecting it to happen then, but it didn't happen then. It happened now that Sentebale is trying to expand. Maybe they took some of that money that Prince Harry sent to them. They put some infrastructure in place. They made the place look viable. And so when they brought investors to Lesotho, they saw something that would be of benefit to them if they decided to invest in Sentebale. And so now all of a sudden, Sophie haven't had the opportunity to rub shoulders with, you know, the 1% of the 1% is now feeling like, "Do you know what? They can't do this without me." Forgetting who brought her into the organization in the first place. Anyway, what I would hate to see is for Sophie to start running her gum and taking advantage of the media's war against Harry and Meghan. That's what I would really hate to see. The Anna says Sophie could have left quietly with her dignity intact. This behavior will make a lot of other places she could work with think twice about employing her. She's got her own business. She's got her own business, which is doing quite well, actually. So this is part of the reason why I say it's probably her ego. Uh, nope, it's because Sophie thought she was has an MBA, that she's smarter than the average, but she's underestimating the princes. Absolutely, I'm sure she was not expecting them to resign. Can you be imagine? Just what came to my mind as I said that was, can you imagine being invited to a meeting and then you walk into the meeting for the meeting, and just as you sit down to begin the meeting, everybody else in the room walks out of the meeting, leaving you alone in the room? That's exactly what has happened to Sophie right now. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I hope that she does not end up destroying the relationships that Prince Harry has worked so hard to create with people who are interested in donating to the work that Sentebale does and the interest that he has brought to the region. Carly says somebody across the pond got to her. I believe so. The bold one with 6 strands of hair, paw prints all over it. It definitely looks like that. It definitely feels that way, doesn't it? Very Samantha Markle ish with the lawsuit, and very if that is the case, that would be so bad unless she's being blackmailed. That would be so bad. But if it was the case, why wouldn't she find a way to work it out with Prince Harry? You know? Julie says she thought Harry would want to keep this quiet amidst everything else he has. It's blackmail. This is exactly what I think. And I think that Harry and Meghan face this all the time. Except the thing is, when they get blackmailed, they allow whatever it is that people want to say about them come to the light, and to let people know that they will not be blackmailed. And I think that this Sophie miscalculated. Eslin Mills says she got power mad and forgot that the princes are Sentebale. It wouldn't surprise me if the royal family and British media are behind this. I would 100% agree. The children are the ones that are going to suffer. So sad. Oh my God. I hope that there's a way to for them to put things in place in the transitionary period. Oh my goodness. All right, guys, that's all I have. This is real breaking news. And gosh, I wanted to sign off, and Faith said this: Sophie is doing the devil's work. And she absolutely is. All right, guys. So that's all I have for this evening. Um, I had actually something else that I wanted to talk about, but this was such breaking news that I felt like it would overtake the other bit of news that I wanted to discuss in importance. So, guys, have a good evening. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any updates. Thanks to my mods, Julie and Lorna, and for everybody else who has come over to listen to me. Well, I'm sounding a bit scattered this evening because I really did not have time to prepare. Thank you for being here. And until next time, this is Wheezy signing off. Peace.